Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. All right, so today I want to talk about my favorite technique of all time, okay? And it goes a little something like this. Live your life, have fun, know it's done, right? What does that look like? It looks like living your life, right? Doing things that you want to do. You're focusing on your mission, your goals, your hobbies, your family, your friends, right? Things that are important, living in accordance to your values. And then when you think of desire, you say, oh, that's done. Oh, that's done. It's already mine. That's it, right? Sounds simple, right? All right, like when we look at all the, maybe all the content that we've seen throughout our lives and all the books we've read, and we're like, man, there's got to be more to it. It seems so complicated. There's so much information, right? And maybe that's kind of the issue, right? Is that we have got too caught up in the information instead of actually just living in accordance with the law, right? When you say something's done, it's done, right? At that point, all you got to do is not go against it. And that's why we have this other little beautiful technique, which is actually like an awesome tool of, it's just a thought, right? So when we think against our desire, right? Like, oh, that's not going to happen, or so-and-so's not going to, but the money that's just a thought. That's just a thought. It's done. I don't need to worry about it. I'm going to continue living my life, right? So we put a lot of importance on trying to manifest. And it's not even so much just manifesting, it's just reflection, right? So like when you're honest with yourself and take a look, like how have you been being, right? Have you put your life on hold to manifest a specific person or manifest money or a job? Have like other areas in your life kind of fell by the wayside because you're so focused and so hyper focused and like pretty much obsessed with getting this one thing because you think it's going to make you feel better and happier? Like, as if you're doing that, you're not living your life, right? Are you having fun? Now, I'm not saying that life doesn't come with challenges, because it does. I don't care what your identity is. I don't care. I don't care if you are enlightened. There will be challenges that you can either fall unconscious to, or you can become deeper into presence and or not react, things like that. But nonetheless, there's challenges. I'm not going to lie to you guys about that. It is what it is. It's life. It's part of the game. But how are you dealing with the challenges? Are you living your life, having fun, doing what you like to do, focus on your hobbies, right? And then if there's a challenge, you say, oh, that doesn't apply to me. Things that I've talked about in my videos, like that doesn't apply to me. Like that's just a circumstance. That's from previous states of being. I don't really care about that. It is what it is. There's no need to react, right? And then when you think about it, like, oh, it's done. I know it's done. No need to worry. Because once I say it's done, right? Now, again, like I was talking about in the membership live today, I was talking about like, I guess I have like some kind of like rap about like affirmations, right? And I'm not against affirmations, I promise you. But they are to kind of just be matter-of-factly when you say them, not trying to force something, right? It's more so matter-of-factly. It's like, okay, there's a version of me, I'm this version right now that has this thing, that's it. It's done, right? So if we're like let's just say we're in like a fearful place, trying to manifest a person, money, what have you. And we're like, let's just use priority. I'm a priority. And we have all of our focus on, like, let's just say a person, manifesting a person. I'm a priority. But all of our focus is on them because we're saying we're a priority, affirming we are a priority to get them to make us a priority. The act in itself, are you really being a priority? And at that moment, do you even know what that means, right? Because I can assure you, if you are living your life, having fun and knowing it's done, you are making yourself the priority. This will be reflected, right? But when you put your life on hold to manifest a person, let's just use person for example's sake. To manifest a person, it's all the same stuff, but a person, like, who's the priority there? Is it you or is it person? Right? If you're saying I'm the most important person, I'm the most important person in my life, 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 and all of your attention, all of your focus, all of your awareness is on getting this person to realize that you're important, are you really being important in that moment? And you are important, but you get what I'm saying. What is your state of being saying? Your state of being is saying that that person is more important than you. And guess what's reflected back? You guessed that, right? So it's not so much about the affirming, it's about the being, right? When you're being a priority, you don't need to affirm that you're a priority. When I'm being with my wife, like in a relationship, I don't need to affirm that I'm in a relationship. I don't need to affirm anything. I'm just being. I'm in the knowing, right? Are you affirming you're abundant, or are you being you're abundant? Or are you being abundant, right? No matter what it is, like, are you being this? And the technique here is live your life, have fun, know it's done. Like, because it is done. It is done. And the reason we haven't been seeing it, if we haven't been seeing it, is because of the obsession with where it's at. Because of the obsession with the importance on something else or somebody else over ourselves. Because we're believing in all these thoughts when really they're just thoughts. We're believing in the thoughts that are the opposite of our desire, right? And then we're like getting fearful and worrisome. And then we're like, oh, no, what if this happens? And we come up with all these scenarios that we're believing in, really, really, really keeping whatever we want away from us. Because it's still yours, it's still done. It's just, look at it like this. Your person, all these things that you may want, you can't lose them because they are you. You are everything. They're an extension of you, right? But how you are, what you're doing eternally determines the experience that you have with this person, right? Doesn't mean you lost them. Doesn't mean they're not coming. Doesn't mean any of that stuff. It just means you're creating the experience with them, whether it be favorable or unfavorable, right? If you have put all of your focus and all of your awareness on manifesting somebody, you are not a priority at that point. You are not the most important person in your world. Even though you are, that's not what you're being. Okay? So what we want to do is bring it back to self. We always want to bring it back to self. Right? Live our lives. Actually live our lives. And like, that's the whole goal. That's the whole idea here, is to have a human experience, right? To actually go through this whole thing, awaken and have a human experience. Yeah, right? How awake are we if we're constantly focused on somebody else showing us love and finding our validation and our importance off of what somebody else thinks of us? Or if they choose us or not. I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen. Are you chosen? Like, are you being a person who's chosen? You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the I'm chosen affirmation, but you get what I'm saying. Are you being this? Or are you trying to force something because you feel unstable? Because you're buying into all the thoughts that you don't want, right? When they're just thoughts, they're just circumstances. Everything's meaningless, right? We assign the meaning. But if it's my promise to you that if you start to live your life and bring it back to yourself and go do your hobbies, right? And that looks like actually doing your hobbies and not like, oh, I'm gonna do my hobbies just so I can get my person. Bradley says, do my hobbies and I'll get my person. Bradley says, focus on my goals, my mission, and I'll get my person. Bradley says, do yoga, I'll get my mission. Bradley says, go hang out with my friends, or get my mission, get my person. Bradley says, go hang out with my friends and I'll get my person. Bradley says, make my, like, all this stuff, right? You need to do it because it's your life, right? It's your particular experience. Why are you putting it on hold for something or somebody? That is saying that you are not enough. That is saying that you are waiting. That is saying you are waiting to be whole, waiting to be loved, waiting to be chosen. There's nothing. Like, it's a state of waiting. Guess what happens when you're waiting? You keep waiting. And even if you did affirm them in, like, it's not going to be believable. It's not going to be complete. It's not going to be whole because you're not that. And then you're going to start looking at them through this lens of the incompleteness, the lens of incompleteness, the lens of fear, the lens of like creating these little meanings of what they're doing, what they're not doing, because like I need them to do this so I feel whole. And then that gets reflected back, and then we do this whole thing over and over and over again. And I promise you, it's the same thing with anything. I'm just using people because I know that, like, you know, people want their people. But what you actually want is to feel whole. What you actually want is to live your life. What you actually want is that safety. What you actually want is love. That's already in you. Okay? So live your life, have fun, know what's done. This is the end state. The present moment is the end state. Live your life, have fun, know what's done. And whatever that looks like to you. It's just, but we're not doing it just to get somebody. We're not doing it just so we feel whole. Just to get somebody so we feel whole. We're not doing it for that reason. We're doing it because it's our life. Yeah, we're going to get a different reflection, 100%, with everything and everyone. But we're doing it because you owe it to yourself to actually choose you. Now you're chosen. To actually make yourself a priority. Now you're a priority. Right? Then you'll see different reflection, but it comes from you. So we have to get aware of what are we being? Who are we being? How often are we buying into thoughts that do not serve us, that make it, that it's no use to even buy into them? It does not align with it's done. And how often are we actually putting our life on hold with the hopes of somebody texting us, with the hopes of somebody choosing us, with the hopes of somebody being like, hey, actually, I only want you, with the hopes of just to see him for a second. Again, I've said this before, but this is exactly why you're in the position that you're in the first place. If this is the case, you have to drop it, live your life, have fun, know it's done. And I'm being dead serious. Once you say it's done, it's done. Now, I have a lot of different things going on in my life, right? Not just YouTube, but lots of different things. And I don't put one of them on hold for any of the others. I don't need to. I can do all of them. They're all great. They're all fun. I still have a great relationship. I still have other responsibilities I have to do. I have other things I like to do for fun. Nonetheless, I do them all. Because I've already proven to myself that it's all done. I've already proven to myself that only me can give myself the stability. Only me can give that to me, right? Only I can give that to I. And a lot of that is just not buying into thought. Right? Just not buying into, you get a thought you don't want, don't buy it. It's not your, who cares? It doesn't apply to you. Live your life, have fun, know it's done. When you think of them, oh, that's done. I don't need to worry about that. You get a thought of the opposite. Well, that's just a thought. Doesn't apply to me. Now, what was I doing again? Oh, you get another thought. Oh, that's it. That's against that. Oh, that's just a thought. That's just a thought. Do you think a person? Oh, I don't need to think about that. That's done. I need to worry about my state. That's it. I'm gonna go golf. I'm gonna go read. Go call my friend. Maybe we'll go do something. What you're not gonna do is let's just say you have a movie date with your friend, and you're like, okay, it's cool. It's a movie date with your friend, 5 o'clock. You haven't heard from person. You're starting to do well. You're starting to feel yourself. Everything's all right, right? No, you're not buying into thought. Then the person texts you, hey, I want to see you about 5. And you're like, oh, because of course they're going to reach out because you're feeling good, you're feeling whole, you're feeling safe, and they're going to start reflecting this, right? But you got the movie date planned about 5 o'clock. Let's say 5 o'clock. And the person texts you, it's like, hey, actually, when I get off work at 5, I wanted to come by and see you. At that point, do you still go to the movie with your friend? Or do you call your friend and say, hey, actually, I can't make it tonight. I got some things I got going on, right? Because one of those decisions is going to let you know where you actually are. And if you continue to stay that way, right? Because we don't want to drop our life. Because again, we would be doing good and then put our life on hold. Be like, oh, they reached out. Gotta blow off my friend. I gotta get with my person. And then if you do that, when you're with person, you're going to start viewing that whole thing of fear is going to set back in because you just jumped ship again, and you're like, oh, what did that mean? What you been up to? How you been? You been talking to anybody? All this stuff. Okay, and then at that point, what are you being? And then what's going to get reflected back, right? So we want to live our life, have fun, know it's done. Now you can text them and say, hey, you know what? I actually got something going on tonight, but after that, if I'm feeling like it, I'll reach out. If not, I got work in the morning, whatever. But it's your game now. Okay. All from a place of love, not like I'm better, I gotta put this person in their place. No, just but like it's your life. You're the priority now. Right? We want to step into this knowing. And then they'll start to reflect this. But it's not about them. It's about you choosing you. Think about why you want to be chosen. Think about why you want to be a priority. It's because you're not doing it within yourself. So you think somebody else has to do it for you to feel better, to be chosen, to be a priority. And it's an illusion. I get it. I've been there. But again, illusion. So choose yourself. Make yourself the priority. Not by affirming, but by being the priority. But by being chosen. By actually choosing yourself. By actually being important. I mean, you are important, but you know what I mean. Acting like it. Act like you're important in your life. Act like you matter in your own life, and somebody doesn't, and that you have your own happiness, and you don't got to try to pat somebody down and try to get it from them. Okay? But anyway, live your life, have fun, know what's up. This is the end state. It is a state of stability. It is a state of being whole, realized within. And then when you think about desire, that's done. When you get the opposite thought of desire, that's just a thought. Think about this. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Love you guys. See you soon.